going to try to make it 3 wide.
Whoa! Whoa! Berry's gone, and he goes up and over. Huge hit for Josh Berry. Eric Jones is involved. There's Austin Cindric. That was wild. William Byron trying to get his way back as the AMR safety team are swiftly on the spot to aid Josh Berry on what had been an incredible night for the Stewart-Haas driver up until the second to last lap.
AMR team there, they train a lot on getting this, knowing how to get this car flipped back over. You see the gentleman on the ground, he's in communication with Josh.
You mentioned it, Jeff, that these traveling safety workers have a whole system of straps and how they connect to the car to kind of roll the car over.
There is an lot of safety vehicles that have arrived on the scene. What they're focused on first is getting the car righted and getting it on all 4 wheels. Once that happens, you can get Josh
Wreck. Watch this car, how quickly, when it gets spun, contact. The 2 is getting pushed, and as soon as that car was pushing him, got turned around and went. This is what scared me, because Josh is hanging on his belts. He's not in his seat. He's hanging on his belts and has that frontal impact.
Everything that went right for the 34 to set his car back on the wheels didn't go right for Josh Berry. And I'm with you, Jeff. The flip is the first concern, but then the hit into the wall when gravity is pulling you out of the seat is just different. Multi-point harness is trying to hold your hips and your lower body tight into that seat. But as you run all day, the heat, the sweat, you know, everything kind of loosens up a little bit. You have to keep tugging on those belts. It was so great for Josh to get out.
And again, that speaks to the structural integrity. Here's the view from Austin Dillon. Oh. Massive hit with Gilliland.
Austin thought he was going to miss it, and then Gilliland came from nowhere. See, here's the push from behind, and then it moved the 2 car up, and again, pushing gone wrong.
What a violent hit.
See right there, there's the push. They all stacked up, the 8, the 20. Now, the one thing about that car, when it's sat down on the roof,
yes,
look at the integrity of the roof. It's sitting there really strong. That's something this car is really good at. The older car, that roof would collapse. This car is much stronger. This is two weeks in a row, Steve, with cars in the air.
Yeah, a change was made. Obviously, more work to be done. At these speeds, the cars, here we go. This is on board with Berry.
Have a listen.
Gets turned around upside down. Lose the camera, but you know what happened.
Driver out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, and boy, he took a ride, and thank goodness choice for the safer barriers. Absolutely did what it's supposed to do.
Just that ping-ponging that was happening further back. Zane Smith.
But oh, what a wild ride Corey LaJoie just had.
Slid forever on the roof down the backstretch. Then the grass got him tumbling again. You see the damage to the roof of the race car.
I happened to look out of the window and I saw he was in the air.
See the AMR safety crew immediately to Corey as he climbs out of that race car. Remember, these cars over 3,000 pounds, and take a look at how he gets upside down.
Just going by Noah, a little bit of contact on with the right front fender. Car turned sideways and just flipped in the air. That is, quite honestly, that's just not acceptable. There's no way that a car, when it turns like that, should get up in the air that easily. There has been millions of dollars and hours of time spent to prevent that from happening. That's going to catch everybody by surprise.
And you see right there, slide, that gives you a great view of the whole underbody we talk about, the underwing, everything that people talk about for damage. And then here it catches the grass and a couple pretty violent tumbles. I mean, you said it, Rick, 3,000 pounds. It looks like a Matchbox car just tumbling through the grass. Let's watch it again, Jeff.
This
he
is
has
earlier.
a big run.
This was earlier. So this was, they were racing, this was the lap before. And, you know, obviously drivers upset at each other. But, you know, right here, I just feel like, yeah, he's just turning, right? And I can't tell from this shot if Noah comes down or not. But either way, this car to get in the air like that is shocking.
And Steve, you've shown us over and over when those flaps open up, that's supposed to help keep these cars on the ground. We saw the flaps open up there, but that thing immediately got upside down.
Let's look at another replay. A little bit of contact between the 7 and the 10. The 7 starts to spin like normal, and we freeze it kind of right here. Roof flaps up, hood flaps are both up right here, which normally sets the car back down, not for the 7 of LaJoie, instantly in the air, flipping him onto his roof, a big slide on his roof, all the way down into the grass, Jeff. We haven't seen a car flip that quickly by itself in quite some time.
Yeah, it's pretty concerning because normally we see a car flip, there's another car involved and it can disrupt the air or push the car and help get it launched. But in this case, it really, I know they made contact, but really as far as it flipping, it's a single car event.
So let's take a look at our virtual Toyota car and let's talk about exactly.
White flag one more time around from Michigan. Has Allgaier gotten too far out in front? Creed to the bottom of the racetrack. He still has a little bit of help with Nemechek. Down the backstretch, the field. 2x2 for 5th and a big wreck. The 88 gets caught up in Carson Kvapil. The caution comes out. That will end the race. Upside down and over. Goes to 28. So Kyle Sieg back on his wheels. And Allgaier will win in Michigan. The winter net is down for Kyle Sieg as you see him taking the steering wheel off and about to climb out. That would have been an interesting battle through 3 and 4 if the caution would not have come out. But let's take another look at why this caution came out.
Yeah, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Like somebody got in the right rear of Kvapil, and that just piled everybody up. Sieg upside down into the wall.
Wow, what a long slide all the way down to the grass and then flipped back over. Fortunately ends up on its wheels. I couldn't tell what started it, some back and forth, but the result, the 28 upside down, NASCAR making the absolute correct decision, instantly putting the yellow out. Such a severe accident, you got to get safety workers out right away to these drivers. I think if the cars kind of would have stayed going, we could have seen that race back to the line, Rick. But as soon as any sort of impact, I think the 88 impact in the outside wall was really enough to throw the yellow, but Either way, that was it. Finish of the race. There we go. So it seems like it's hard to tell, but 45 gets into the right rear of the 88, gets the car spinning.
That's a scary wreck. We'll see.
Over 3,000-pound cars flying through the air is never a good sight.
And there it starts right there, and then just the speed that Kyle was running when he turned around, and the 81 of Chandler Smith kind of pushing him at the same time, gets the car launched.
And that's kind of what happens. These cars are designed with the roof flaps to keep them on the ground. What you see is, and there's the driver right there getting out, you know, but when you see another force, like another car pushing on it, it changes the physics just enough that you've seen the cars go in the air.
Second, Taylor Gray right there fighting for a win too. Corey Heim in the mix. Ty Majeski is there. Rajah sideways hangs onto it.
Sanchez will try to work both. Oh, trouble.
And there's a crash. Caution is out. The race is over. Trucks up in the air. Nick Sanchez leading when the caution flag came out.
Was that?
Good job, boys.
He is going to bring it back around to the checkers. Nick Sanchez, when he was 5, taken to a race at Homestead, Miami by his uncle. He fell in love with NASCAR. And the Florida kid going to win for the first time in his career at Daytona International Speedway.
How about that? Rajah is going to end up second.
Rajah did a great job there, just come up a little bit short. There's Corey LaJoie caught up in this wreck.
Maintain speed too. They can't just be crashing and then and cross that timing line. Let's see what happens here. Rajah gets into Jack Wood, turns him around. Watch the 17. Just contact from Daniel Dye, turns him over.
Bailey Curry in the middle of that mess. Matt Crafton sliding along. He keeps his truck pointed in the right direction. Look at Matt storm out of there.
Let's ride with Daniel Dye.
Our Fox In Race reporter
and cameraman.
Unbelievable impact.
Daniel had no idea there was going to be a truck right in front of him when he went down that straightaway.
Or on top of him, either
exactly.
What a SHIT show. I mean, that was crazy. Like, I mean, I've never avoided so many wrecks in my life. I can't believe I have a clean truck. But I'm not going to complain about it. It's truck racing. It happens. But super proud of Truck on Garage and Toyota Racing. Got a little bit of work to do for Talladega with the speed of this thing. But I thought the best strategy for me was to lay low and hopefully be there at the end. And we were. And looks like we came up one short.
That is scary looking.
It's just amazing.
But like you said, that's about as soft as you can turn one over.
That's exactly right. And it didn't just keep tumbling either, like we've seen happen so many times. I don't know if Rajah just lost the front end of his number 71 Chevy or what went down there, but he definitely went up the track and made contact. Look at that mess. Phil, did you see Stefan sliding through there?
He
anywhere?
did get through there, yes.
Watch this, just out of nowhere. Smoke, smoke. Truck. Now,
watch it hit the roof. Man, oh man. That's on the list of things you don't want to see out your windshield.
There goes those.
There's the hot dog going by.
Ballpark Frank squeezing through.
Amanda?
Rajah, there was many ways that I was going to go in this conversation with you, but I saw you hand the phone back that you were just on, and the name said Rick Hendrick. What did that conversation go?
Yeah, it's all because of him, you know, being in this spot. So I'm really thankful for Mr. H and the Hendrick
automotive group along with Spire Motorsports and Chevy, because the only reason I got a ride this year.
Do not get a big run and get ahead of them too far.
3 Fords have separated themselves. A big push coming now for Harvick.
Oh,
and around goes a couple cars. Preece upside down. He's barrel rolling through the grass. Ryan Preece upside down in the infield. Caution has come out. He's on his wheels. There was fire off the left side of the car. A huge barrel roll for Preece and the AMR safety crew there to him.
It's been a long time since we've seen a car get.
Take another look at how this happened.
Going down the back straightaway, he makes a move or gets help from behind, and the car goes into the infield air. It just lifts right up off the ground. Violent wreck. Gets a push from the 43 car, and it's airborne. I mean, I thought that maybe it hit, you know, the road course or some curbing or something on the road course. The kink lifted that car, but it was just traveling so fast.
It happened right when it got in the grass. As soon as it got in the grass, that's when it started to lift. And then this is just violent. I mean, look at this car. That is just amazing that something that weighs over 3,500 pounds get in the air like that.
It looks like a toy car flying through the air. But as you mentioned, Jeff, 3,500 pounds. Such a violent accident for Ryan Preece. Thankfully lands on the wheels and then was able to climb out of that race car and will get checked out in the infield care center.
Look how fast. As soon as that contact happens, he just hangs a left.
You said it, Jeff. As soon as the car touches the grass, something about that gap or the air or something changes, and up in the air it goes right away.
That is so scary.
Remember, these cars are traveling at over 190 miles an hour.
We've seen barrel rolls, but when it climbs into the air, I mean, even right there, multiple flips.
10.
Every time
flips.
it leaves the ground.
All the dirt and everything that gets inside that car. It's just wild how fast that car was sideways and in position to get airborne.
Terrifying. You know?
This was common, though. I mean, years ago, 15, 20 years ago, these were the type of wrecks we expected to see at Daytona and Talladega. And NASCAR has changed a lot of things about these cars to try to keep them on the ground. And for the most part, unless the cars find themselves in these odd situations, it works. That right there looked exactly like what we would see in 1985, in 1990, 1995, the way this car went up in the air and barrel rolled down the back straightaway.
Well, I know wife Heather is watching. They just welcomed Rebecca Marie to their family August 7th. As I mentioned, Ryan Preece climbed out of the car. They put him on a stretcher. You see him lying down. They'll go to the infield care center. He'll get checked out, and we will keep you updated on Ryan Preece's situation. Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom of the track. Jr. will win Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
Austin Dillon into the catch fence. All the crews getting out to that car to assist these drivers. Thumbs going up from all the crew members, and the crowd roars. Look at the catch fence on the front straight.
He runs in the back of the 24, gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 55. Now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like that's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. You see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
11 and the 4 to get together. Here we are at the start-finish line.
It just pushes the 3 up into the air enough that it rolls over the top of the car. And then that momentum just continues to move him into the catch fence. Let's ride along with Kevin Harvick.
Top's covered. Middle's open. Come on. Oh, we got a terrible wreck behind you. Just hold it straight, buddy. Hold it straight.
And you heard Kevin Harvick. As much as he wants to get to the start-finish line, as he sees the 11 start to spin, he's out of the gas. It's just line after line of car pushing everyone through there.
Take another look at this real time. According to track safety, they are attending to 3 fans in the grandstands. Some debris did get through that fence. One of the most amazing things I've seen tonight, and we've seen a lot of incredible things, but one of the most amazing things is when that crew pulled Austin Dillon out of the 3, and Austin Dillon is able to walk out of that accident, out of that crash, and then acknowledge the fans by waving to them. They're attending to 3 fans in the grandstands, but they're attending to them with minor injuries, is what we're hearing.
That's wonderful news, because as you see, you know, the car stays mostly intact as far as the driver compartment is concerned, but there's a tremendous amount of pieces missing off that car.
Hang on. This will be a wild ride. That was Tony Stewart going underneath the 3. And here was the response from Austin Dillon, one of the drivers that was involved in this incident and was in the infield care center, standing by with Mike Massaro.
And Denny Hamlin just taking his first glance at the replay there, Rick, and getting a sense of what happened behind him. What did you see?
Well, I really didn't get it. They've got to run it back. But the 4 was pushing me, or was trying to push me to the line. And, you know, he had us jacked up. And we crossed the line, I thought, or we were close. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to help. But it just wrecked a bunch of stuff. You know, at some point, you know, none of us were going to win the race for second and third, so we all have wins. So, you know, at some point you got to hit the concede button. But yeah, you know, also took one heck of a ride. Wow.
And the catch fence. There's going to be talk about the catch fence. In your opinion, did it do what it was supposed to do?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like it kept the car in the racetrack, which is good. I rode in the ambulance with Austin, and he said he felt fine. So I think everything is gone really well. I think NASCAR's done a great job, and this track has done a good job of stepping up. We're gonna, anytime you get these cars turned around backwards at these speeds, there's going to be lift, and we're going to get these cars in the air. It's just a part of physics, and so I think everything did its job there.
Just, I mean, I'm so glad Austin Dillon's okay. That's a violent wreck, and I hope the fans are okay as well. But that was a crazy one. You know it's going to be crazy. I mean, right from the start, I thought it was a wild race. It was just a lot of action, crazy stuff going on. Our Exalted Chevrolet was excellent. It was so good. A couple moves here and there. It's so hard to predict these races and what line to be in. The one time they came up the middle, I thought that was the place to be. And Trevor Bayne got to the outside of me, and that lane was going. And so, you know, that's all it takes is just that little split-second decision, you know, one move to go your way, not go your way, and we kind of got shuffled back. But we're making pretty good ground there behind Harvey. We were pushing like crazy, just wide open. It's literally like a video game out there these days, except for it's real life, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. I love Daytona. This place has been amazing for me. Can't believe that this is my final race here. But after going through that experience, I'm glad I only have one more restrictor plate race left.
Yeah, you kind of passed on those early on in your announcements. Jeff, your teammate was dominant, but did you ever think there was a time here, maybe just for my last Daytona, this car is good enough to get me to victory lane?
I think all the Hendrick cars were strong enough to win, but Dale's so good. You get him up front, and he's just so good, picking the lanes, controlling the race, and he's got a fast race car as well, but he does an excellent job. Congrats to those guys. You know, I mean, the restarts, everything, you know, he just did it right, and you know, came away with a great victory for him and for Hendrick Motorsports.
Jeff Gordon, unofficially 6th here tonight. Rick?
Yeah, in his final run at Daytona International Speedway.
Be there. Oh, crash! Two cars slam together, and Harrison Burton takes a wild ride through the grass and up into more traffic, gets tagged, turned around, and 5 cars are in it. Ryan Preece.
I think he missed that inside wall. Harrison Burton, big damage on the 21 car.
And Carson Hocevar, the rookie, gets taken out into that very, very wet grass in the ball field. Outside of Burton, the green and white car, and Brad Keselowski and he make contact.
Keselowski got to his rear bumper, just took a little bit of a lub tap, turned him sideways, kind of looked to me like he was on the left corner of that bumper, turned him right down into Harrison Burton.
Well, and it's just what we were talking about, Clint, with everybody trying to feel out exactly what their cars were knocked out, or I see him with the hood up on pit road, but Harrison Burton, what a terrible break for the Wood brothers and everything that you prepare for over the last 3 months. And we see this race go that time every once in a while. Just these early wrecks that sometimes start with just people trying to go and trying to move forward.
Burton would have been okay, but for coming back up on the racing surface, obviously couldn't slow down. Kaz Grala thought he had the high line clear, and he did until Burton got there. A lot of damage here. Let's ride with Jimmy Johnson.
Terrible feeling. Smoke.
Yeah, and he just...
That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that was hacked there. With this particular car, you can't just hang back like you used to. You have to be somewhat close to the pack. You see Ryan Preece sliding through there. Harrison Burton's radiator and ductwork, everything fly out of the front of the car.
That's a good point, Kevin. You know, in years past, back in the day, you just ride around back.
20 cars come in, and around goes one of them as John Hunter Nemechek tried to force the issue on Josh Berry.
Josh Berry needed to get down.
Chastain saw it coming and went up with him.
Now Logano to the outside. They can't get around.
Whoa! Keselowski gets turned by William Byron. Blaney gets caught up. Gilliland, Truex, Hamlin, and more.
All those Fords were struggling to get around Chastain. Who could get around and get that clean air track position first?
Anthony Alfredo there.
Reddick, massive damage on him.
Thursday night winter time.
And you see Alex Bowman up the racetrack, and then they start zigging and zagging here. And
well, obviously, William Byron and Bowman, that's where it ended up. But the movement from the 6 and the 22, jockeying for position, trying to outduel one another to that position of passing Chastain, that's what stacked all those guys up and got them in trouble. Those guys were going for it. Chastain was holding them up. You saw the 6 go to the bottom. You saw the 22 go to the outside. The race was on, and unfortunately, those guys behind him.
This gives you a much better view right there. You see the 24 car just being pushed, and sometimes you're not aligned, and you know you're not lifting, and that car gets to moving around, and you hope it works out, and it just didn't work out right here.
We saw this same scenario playing out at the duels the other night when Blaney got in a wreck. You really can't pin it on anybody. It's hard racing, everybody going for it, but when those cars move in front of them, it slows the energy down. This probably tells the other part of the story. You're not going to run 3 wide that long.
Well, we said it several laps ago, right? We both said it.
Yeah, when Kozlowski turns.
Oh my gosh. If that left rear quarter panel wasn't curved in a little bit, I mean, it went right with the curvature of the left rear quarter panel.
Ross Chastain and Brandon McReynolds did a phenomenal job of keeping those guys behind him. Had he slipped up one time and missed a block, he'd have been right in the middle of that. He was wheeling it. That one got his wrist.
Yeah,
that one got his wrist.
Grabbed his hand. Yeah,
a tough week for Ryan Blaney.
Stronger that is than what it used to be.
Yeah, and that's the reason that you see a lot more of these guys take their hands off the wheel, because the rack will just jerk your hands out, and if your thumbs are in there, it'll break them. We saw Ryan Blaney grab his wrist there. Eric Jones, he held onto the wheel, but he holds the wheel with his thumbs up on top of the wheel. A lot of guys do not. They hold their thumb around the wheel, and the spokes will literally rip your thumbs off and break them.
Yeah, I think it was his wrist. It could have been his thumb. I mean, to your point, usually is. That's why it hooks your wrist.
Yeah, and a lot of times when that wheel is spinning around like that, sometimes it'll hurt leading the bottom lane with Austin Cindric behind him. Ross Chastain leading the outside lane.
1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank, and away they go. That is Cindric into Chastain and up into traffic.
Did they complete that lap?
Did the leader get the white flag? Caution waving.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
I don't know if he got it out in time. I think
idea of where he needed to go.
He went for it.
The caution came out at the wrong time, and William Byron winds up winning the race with the timing of the caution on the white flag lap.
And watch Chastain here. Man, he misses this inside wall so close when he spins down here. Watch how close he gets to this end of the pit road wall.
And the other thing that I noticed,
this, Kevin.
Started out playing video games, racing on his computer, says, Dad, I want to try this.
Oh.
They came to Charlotte and hopped in Legend.
The last thing you think is going to happen is that you're going to flip. That was the last thing he thought was going to happen. But I'm with Clint. It almost appears that that impact from
Watch when it spins around right here. You see the right front. See it flip
right
over?
there.
Yeah.
Dug in.
Upper A-frame was broken. As soon as it rolled underneath the car, it dug in and sent that thing a-flipping. Wow. What a ride. A lot of work went into the safety of these race cars.
White flag under green. Next flag will end the race, and Newman is there.
Newman's got locked onto his rear bumper just like he did. Oh, wrecking behind Chase Elliott around.
Spinning around.
Still green.
Still green. Still green, and here they come.
And here comes Blaney.
Ryan Blaney up behind Ryan Newman, trying to get him to Hamlin.
Newman backed up to Blaney. Big run coming here.
To the inside, Newman to the front.
Nothing Denny Hamlin could do. What can Ryan Blaney now do? Here comes a push from Denny Hamlin. Oh, this thing's not over yet. Not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first. Newman got turned, went up in the air. As he came down, was hit by another car and launched skyward, coming down on his roof. The AMR safety team is there quickly to attend to Ryan Newman. Here is a look at the last lap. Denny Hamlin out in front of Newman and Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney gets to his rear bumper. Nothing that Denny Hamlin can do other than try to tuck right into the rear bumper of Ryan Blaney, which he does an excellent job of. Newman gets a pretty good run to the turn 4, but now here comes a huge run by Ryan Blaney, being pushed by Denny Hamlin. He tries to go to the outside, then the inside. They lock bumpers and turns Ryan Newman around. Upside down he goes. Corey LaJoie coming along, making contact.
Just lifting Newman's car up and over. Comes to rest on its roof. Here is the second closest finish in Daytona 500 history. Denny Hamlin the winner in both of them. This time it is Ryan Blaney finishing second. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around and the car goes to its roof, and here's the onrushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over.
I spent about $650,000, so I wasn't too happy about that part. But the racing was good, and up until we got upside down, we were kind of running. We weren't in the red yet in our pocketbook, but that surely put us there.
Spoken like a true car owner, my friend. Stand on that thing, man. Crowd her up, get her tightened up, get on up there.
Yeah, we're willing. We're ready and willing. Trust me. We've been making some crazy moves trying to figure out what we can do to get that track position we lost early. But that long run was a lot.
Tony Stewart, our current champion, trying to pick up where he left off. Look at Kyle Busch there sideways again in that 18 car.
Well, he's driving really defensively right now. He's trying to keep Jeff Gordon behind him, and Jeff is working him over. Look at that. Jeff's going to move him up out of the groove and get by him.
Whoa, Busch is around. Can he save it this time?
Oh, there you go.
He does. He saves it. But there's a
Jeff Gordon's upside down. Jeff Gordon's upside down.
And Kurt Busch's car is destroyed.
Oh my gosh. Jimmy Johnson's car destroyed.
Track crew quickly on the scene to aid Jeff Gordon. On the radio, he has told his team he is okay.
Yeah, I see him. I think I can see him moving. I think it's really Jeff trying to get the 18 car Kyle Busch up out of the way.
Pushing on that left side again.
Yeah, he's just working on him, Michael. Kyle was blocking, And Jeff was trying to get him loose and get him up out of the way, and he just got on the left side and spun him out.
Look at the job Ambrose and Boyer did coming through there. And there's our buddy old Brad Keselowski. We ain't seen him up front all night. He's fixing to restart with a chance to win this baby.
Yeah, I asked Larry, I said, is Brad Keselowski in this race?
Well, Jeff Gordon's car went about 1,000 feet on the driver's door before it barrel rolled to a stop.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski in that too. He's in that backup car.
You see Jeff down there, he just gets down on this left corner, and we've seen that time and time and time again.
You got to stay off the left side. What do we do about that, though, man? How do we fix it? The drivers just have to make the decision that they've got to lay off that left side.
Look at this long slide for Gordon. And that's Kurt Busch tangled up with him and Jimmy Johnson. And that car still hasn't lost much of its momentum as it goes side over side and comes to rest.
Michael
on
made
its roof.
A really good point, though, Mike. These cars are so much bigger than the cars were 5 years ago. With the safety innovations that NASCAR is.
The back of my eyes hurt, and I really didn't figure it out till I got up this morning and I started looking around, and that was probably bothering me the most. But you know, I was telling you, I went for a run this morning just to try to get some blood flowing and kind of loosen everything up, and I feel pretty good now. I mean, overall, my whole body's a tick sore, but not as.
Well, Vince, for most of the race, Chase Elliott has been stuck mid-pack. He's saying, I can't do anything because it's been 3 wide. Well, now he's out front. He's pretty happy with his race car. He said back in the pack, it was a bit edgy, but as soon as he could get some clean air on that car, he said, I think we're going to have a fast race car. His spotter, Eddie DeHunt, just told him it's time to be greedy.
There he goes. There we go. Here we go.
Oh, upside
down.
Side.
Well, AJ, that was a humdinger.
Yes, it was, and that's there he is upside down, and I hope he's all right. I see him moving around in there. I don't think there's any issue with him.
Yeah, you just can't push on the left side of that rear bumper.
Well, you just can't keep pushing. He got into the 24 and just kept on pushing. But, Mike, I'm telling you, I started my first race here in 1972. This was what I worried about. 1970, 45 years ago, and here we are. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
AJ tried to put the window net down to signal to the safety crews he's okay, but with the car upside down, it won't go down.
Wow, the 3 cars got a lot of.
Austin Dillon, Michael McDowell.
He hit one of those cars that was upside down. I don't remember if it was Chase Elliott.
Danica sitting there, her car's torn up. I don't know how many cars are in this thing. Probably 15 of them.
And here is the initial contact. You see Chase's car yawed out just a tiny bit in the corner.
And they got him loose.
That's all it takes.
That's the one. He was going to save it till that last little bump.
I was just going to say, AJ, just be a little patient here. We got a little ways to go yet, and you got a pretty good car. Wow.
In a moment.
This is amazing footage, folks.
Incredible camera work.
And just remember, there's a driver in every one of those cars. Watch it.
Well, that's a long, slow roll for Allmendinger. And look, both those cars end up pretty much together along with the mess that was Logano's car and Michael McDowell's. Harvick had damage in that, so did Trevor Bayne, Eric Jones, Matt Kenseth, all involved.
And as a driver, I've been upside down at Daytona one time and slid on my roof just like that, with sparks flying, and I was just hoping at the last second it was going to roll back over so I could get out. But AJ's didn't do that. He was stuck upside down. Not a comforting feeling. That oil tank is right behind you. It's very possible for oil to start leaking out. You want to get out of there as fast as you can.
Looks like there were only about a dozen cars who had a chance to evade to the inside and not get any damage in this.
I'm watching that green 2 car. I don't know if he's just kind of following this through here. Not sure if he got any damage or not.
Yeah, I think I saw him stop a little bit too soon, as if he made contact.
He may have hit the outside wall with the right side of the car.
Let's ride with Danica Patrick.
Check it, back it down, stay low, low, inside. 32 never stop.
Oh, boy, that was a lick. Man.
She's still driving it, even after that second impact.
With Dale Jr.
1 outside, 77's outside. Keep coming low, come on.
Wow.
Caution's out.
gosh.
Easy, easy. Keep it easy. Shift, hold your brake. Hold your brake, buddy. Stay high, stay high, stay high.
And let's show you this in real time. Wow. Talladega, world's fastest junkyard.
Yeah, just released from the Infield Care Center down here in Austin. You were a little bit further.
Now, not only first race win, but with 1 lap to go in stage 1, Matt DiBenedetto is looking for his first ever stage win.
So that's exactly what we were talking about. He was pushing him, couldn't see there. They moved up to take a block. He had to check up, stacked him up, and almost wrecked him.
Yeah, that was almost big between Kyle Busch and his teammate Denny Hamlin. And now look at Kyle Busch go backwards because of that.
He did. He went backwards because he chose the. Oh, he's wrecking. Joey Logano.
Logano. And Keselowski
is in it.
Boy, it's just scary. Anytime that air gets underneath that car, gets it airborne like that. Thankful to see that car get back on 4 wheels and not have a moving around.
Grabbing the window net there. That's a good sign.
Good sign. Look how it almost peeled that roof back.
Oh, heavy damage to Ricky Stenhouse, who had a fast car today.
We talk about how aggressive some of these guys get at the end of these stages.
So the stage ends under caution. Logano was called in on the radio saying he is okay. So
and look how they're all stacked up. They're all bumper to bumper to bumper.
Yeah, but look at the 11. He moves down to try to go on the bottom, gets turns him into the Joey Logano. And then, Jeff, we've all felt it. That silence. When that car goes over, it gets really, really quiet. Not a fun sound.
And you have no idea if that car is just going to start rolling and continuing to roll or if it's going to settle down. Luckily, that's what it did.
You see the 11 get in Joey, and a huge push right here as he gets to the bumper of Blaney. That's when it starts accordion. And it looks like finally Denny had enough, was going to try to move to the bottom, and just got turned around, turned right into Joey Logano. And away he went.
I tell you what, Clint, and you see a little bit of damage to the two. Brad Keselowski, as he gets a little contact there. This goes back to those conversations from Daytona. Those 3 Penske cars, and you can include the Wood brothers in that, they wanted to stay nose to tail to end this stage. They did not, because Joey could have very easily jumped out of the line there. He had the run. He had the momentum.
And I tell you, looking back on the 11 car, Denny right there, if he wouldn't have hit Joey Logano, he would have been wrecked and out of the race.
You saw Chase Briscoe come down track trying to miss Logano, and he turned Keselowski right along.
This doesn't even seem real to me. This is like a video game.
Oh, real to Bubba. Woo! Real close. Look out.
Wow. Ricochets off that rear window. That Denny's getting a big push from behind with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And I don't know if he just was pushed so hard that he had to step out, or he just tried to make that move at that moment, and then he did. It turned him.
Kevin Harvick.
That's as close as it gets right there.
Brad Keselowski looks like he has this missed.
He does everything right. He sees it happen. He moves down the apron, gets on the brakes, slows the car down, avoids the wreck. But unfortunately, somebody comes off the bacon and collects him.
But no damage to his car. And Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, this is the one I like. I mean, you want to talk about in your face. Look at this. This is an automobile coming at you. DoorDash is a sponsor, man. DoorDash me some new underwear. I got them.
Now the 18 drops down to the bottom. He'll block the inside line.
What a tough spot for Kyle Busch. What lane is he going to block? The outside lane. Now the inside lane is going to come.
Here comes the inside lane. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. back to the front. Another hood flap flies off. Oh, around goes the 18. The 42 collects the 17 as well. The 62 upside down. Brendan Gaughan upside down as he went back in front of the pack.
We're wrecked here, guys.
And the big one happens right at the front of the field.
Wow, it's crazy. Brendan Gaughan just flipped around, fortunately landed on his tires.
The 2, major damage.
That is why drivers' heart rates are through the roof on these late race restarts. these racetracks.
Yeah, the bumpers just don't line up as well as they used to with the old COT. But the pushing is just as aggressive as it's ever been and creates those type of situations.
So Kurt pushing Kyle.
It just hooked him. And
look at Brendan Gaughan. Just flipping right over.
It's like the nose of that Chevrolet just can't quite push them straight. It just can't do it.
Yeah, the 17 goes up to side draft. I don't think that affects the 18. It's the one just pushing his brother. It peels the 18 off to the right. It looks a lot like the 24 accident. Look at the 62, a full flip back on its wheels. Thank goodness. Instantly stopped the flipping, put the car back in position. But a huge, huge accident.
You wonder though if the side force, like right here, if the side force didn't help push the car off and roll it off the front bumper, right? Yeah. Just the air moved it to the right. Because
he's trying to pull him back.
Yes, and just moved it, and then that helped with that pointed nose of the Chevrolet. The combination of the two.
Oh, this shot right here.
Yeah.
Coming right at you. Look at this 62. It looks like a toy car. It doesn't look real.
3,400 pounds. Remember that. These things are almost 2 tons.
Well, you know, we take off.
All you got here, pushing ramp.
Kevin.
Half apart now front. All right, keep low, keep low, keep low, keep low, keep low. Keep low, keep low, keep low.
The airport for this racetrack where these drivers teams come in and out of just off of turn 2. Those planes over there land, take off at 125 knots.
Yeah. Yeah, a big jetliner.